Now, we've spoken recently about the many bugs and issues that are being faced by Battlefield 5 at the moment, and we've spoken about the need for DICE to start acting quickly and clearing up some of this stuff. Their reputation is very much at stake with this game, and right now things aren't looking that great for it. However, today, a hotfix is being released for Battlefield 5 for all 3 platforms to fix a couple of the more pressing issues that have been introduced with the Chapter 4 patch. Now, it's not a particularly big patch, but it does come with plenty of clarification and explanation from the development team, which I can always appreciate. So, firstly, what does this hotfix actually fix? Well, it's targeting 2 main issues and then 1 smaller side issue as well. Number 1 is the hit detection. This has been an issue reported as mainly affecting vehicles by the community, but over the last few days there's also been plenty of cases reported where hit detection wasn't working correctly against other infantry players, ground vehicles. It was pretty much affecting the entire game after the first few days after this patch. This was then validated during in-house testing by DICE, and a fix is being issued to all 3 platforms today, PC, Xbox One and PS4, that should return the hit detection back to a fixed state. Number 2, specific crashes affecting the Xbox One platform. Now, being a PC player myself, I couldn't tell you 100% what these crashes actually are, but I did notice a few people on social media replying to some of my tweets, mentioning that after the patch, the game would crash back to the dashboard during the end of round screen. So, here's to hoping that this element of the hotfix is going to remedy those kind of issues. And then number 3, the smaller side issue, this hotfix is going to remedy the missing face paints in the game. Many players have mentioned that these weren't working for the Axis faction since the patch went live, and in DICE's own words, this was a simple fix and that they were able to identify, implement and verify it with minimal effort. So that's why this particular fix is in this patch rather than it being held back for a bigger patch that's coming in about a week and a half or so. Now, of course, those 3 fixes don't even begin to scratch the surface of the issues that Battlefield 5 is currently facing, and it does seem that the DICE team realises how this might look. Community manager Adam Freeman went out and released a few more notes surrounding other issues in the game, offering reasons and details about why those haven't been fixed yet. So, first of all, the invisible soldier glitch. This is probably one of the worst bugs in the game right now. It's extremely infuriating. Freeman has stated that the team is still working on a potential fix for this, but that they have identified it's not a server-side issue, it's a client-side issue, and that means a proper patch is going to be needed to fix the problem. Originally, when the last patch first went live, the team thought that it was caused by some faulty customization, but after testing the problem, it's been found to be a completely random occurrence. And because it's random, the team doesn't believe it can currently be purposefully exploited with a certain combination of customization options. So that's some good news at least. It's not like people out there are choosing a certain specific set of clothing in order to make themselves invisible. It seems to be completely random. According to the dev team, the issue is rooted within the game engine where the client is being prevented from rendering the needed texture files to show the clothing, and this isn't a consistent issue that's experienced by every player on the server. As I mentioned, this is a client-side issue, so whilst you might be looking at an enemy and you see all of their clothing, the soldier that's next to you on your team might then look at that enemy soldier and they might only see half of their clothing or absolutely none of it at all. So it's a really spotty issue because of the way it's affecting different people, but DICE is committed to solving the issue for their next patch coming in mid-July. And then, secondly, let's quickly talk about the stability issues that stopped the Al Sundan map on Conquest launching with the Chapter 4 patch last week. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know I've mentioned that the map on Conquest had a game-breaking bug that would cause the client to completely crash, which wasn't fun for anybody. So that's why it was initially delayed. That issue has now been fixed. But of course, Al-Sundan Conquest is not in this hotfix, so what's happening? The team found yet another bug with the map. They discovered a further graphical issue. There was some artifacting going on, and the team wasn't happy to let the map go live with that particular issue affecting the map either. So that issue is being worked on right now, and there's hope that a fix will be included in the next patch in that week or week and a half so's time. Now, Freeman did also go out and say that because Al-Sundan is having issues, some people were asking if that was going to affect the Marita map. I can confirm this won't affect the release schedule for the Marita map. That's currently set to launch in late July. That is going to release on time, according to schedule, regardless of what's happening with Al-Sundan. Now, that's some pretty solid information right there from the team, and I personally really appreciate the depth that they're going into to explain the issues that they've got on hand at the moment, what's being done to fix those issues and those bugs, and when we can expect some form of update. Clear communication, regardless of the circumstance, is always the right thing to do in my opinion. However, with this information, it does mean that we're going to have to wait another week, a week and a half, for another patch to fix some of the glaring issues with Battlefield 5 right now, which, of course, is disappointing. No amount of communication is ever going to be able to stop people being disappointed when the content they're looking forward to keeps getting delayed. It is frustrating, but again, it's the right thing to do to delay this stuff until it's fixed properly. That way, when it does get released, we're not having to deal with any bugs. Oh, and one extra piece of information that I've got for you today, and this is a good bit of information. I like delivering good news, so it's like a happy end to the video. With this hotfix, DICE is also taking the opportunity to activate Squad Conquest on 2 more base game maps. It's coming to Devastation and Narvik. Devastation, that takes the fight right across the cathedral location. The A flag is the Allied gimme flag over by the Metro Bridge. The B flag is being contested within the cathedral itself, and then the C flag is right over the other side of the map, being the German gimme flag. It is a linear layout, it's similar to Rotterdam, so you can expect a lot of backwards and forwards, and some cheeky flanks to happen here. There's plenty of cover on this map, lots of different locations for you to go through, so expect some flanking. And then Narvik is also linear, but it's been squeezed into the smallest space I think they could have found on the map in total. If you've played Narvik on Conquest, the A flag location, that's pretty much where the entire Squad Conquest map is happening here, so expect some much more close quarters gameplay. There's not a lot of cover going on here either. There is a lot of undulation in the terrain, and the B flag sits right at the top of the play zone, so there's a lot of space down the bottom for flanking, but I'm just looking at this picture, and everything's sort of been squeezed into a really small space. It'd be interesting to see how that one plays in comparison to some of the bigger maps that are available for Squad Conquest. I will bring you some gameplay and some thoughts about Devastation and Narvik for Squad Conquest in a video tomorrow, and I'll also bring you my thoughts on the hotfix and whether it did actually fix what it said it was going to fix. Gotta be honest, I've lost a bit of faith at the moment that patches for Battlefield 5 will actually work properly, so I think it's worth analysing them after the fact, after they've been implemented, give them a day to bed in, and then analyse whether they've actually worked properly or not. I just wanted to make this video for you all right now so that you've got clear information about what has been implemented as a fix and what hasn't been fixed, so that when you boot up the game later today, regardless of what platform you're on, you know what you're looking for, and you're not going to be surprised perhaps when you see something that you assumed would have been fixed but hasn't. So, for example, like the invisible soldier glitch. That's a really glaring issue right now, and it is happening all the time in almost every match being played. It doesn't happen for everybody at the same time, but it is still there happening. So if you've now watched this video, you know that that hasn't been fixed yet, but it will be fixed in the future. So whilst it's frustrating that it is still happening, at least you knew it wasn't going to be fixed, and you will get angry that it hasn't been fixed, because you know it hasn't been fixed. That was a really weird explanation. It made sense in my head. I hope it made sense to you as well. Plus, these patch notes videos are always really popular. You guys seem to really want to know what's happening with Battlefield 5, so I still think it's beneficial to make these kind of videos and let you guys know what's actually changing, and in this case, what isn't changing. But there you are. That's your update on what's happening in Battlefield 5 right now. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments section. And as always, a big thank you for watching. And until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.